Community Center for Northwest Suburban Conference girls hockey, a crossover game tonight. It's the Armstrong-Cooper Wings paying a visit here to take on the Maple Grove Crimson. Good evening, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Dan Ficken. And Dan, a little bit of a difference in schedule early, a front-loaded schedule for AC. They've already played 5 games, gotten off to a 1-4 start. Meanwhile, Maple Grove's just had 1 game so far, so it's a strange look when you look at records early in the year like this.
Yeah, well, some of them accelerated up quick. Maple Grove off to a little bit of a slower start, but it will accelerate for them. And they got a murderous schedule anyway, so it's kind of nice maybe they get off to a little bit of a slower start, but it'll be an interesting contrast to see with the experience now at Armstrong-Cooper if they can bring that to bear against the number 8 team in the state of Minnesota.
Maple Grove definitely has high aspirations. They've got some great talent back. They've also got an infusion of good youth players that are going to be very key factors for this team this year. And their coaches weren't shy about talking about this is a team they feel could be not only in the state tournament, but have a shot at winning it.
That's the goal. I mean, they're feeling it's not a successful season unless they carry that big trophy at the end. And they've been a contender here for a couple of years here. They got beat in the section final last year, and they were not happy about it. And that's the goal this year. They've got talent up and down the line, skill, speed, scoring, experience. They're sophomore D. They've got 59 varsity game experience here, and they're sophomore D, for heaven's sake. So, you know, it's not an unrealistic goal. They should have that.
Armstrong-Cooper coming off a tough year last year. They did win their first playoff game a year ago, but trying to build a little bit, and it's been, a little bit of an up and down start. The one thing you like about them, though, they got a very talented goalie, Nikki Harnett, and just signed with New Hampshire last week, so that can be a great equalizer on a night, and they're hoping to get a great performance out of her.
Well, you build a team from the pipes out, and she's got a .910 save percentage, okay? She's 0-3-0 game-wise, but she's stopping shots. She's only let 15 goals in on 169 shots on her so far. So if she gets hot, she can keep the Wings in this thing, and strange things can happen when the goaltender stands on her head. So, she's the start. If she can ignite something, it might be an interesting game tonight.
Let's talk about key players to look at in this evening's contest, starting with the Wings. And one of their players who got quite a bit of experience back, a defenseman, Caitlin Quinn, good skater, good size. Going to probably have to log a lot of ice time against a talented Maple Grove group.
Oh, she's going to have to. She's got good experience. She's been around for quite a while. Like I said, good size, good speed. She's going to have to play her angles here at Maple Grove Community Center. They haven't played here, so this will be a new rink for her to pick up, but she's going to have a lot of speed coming at her. She's going to have to control the front of the net primarily there. She's got good experience there. If she can keep that clear, move the puck out and get it out of the zone, she's got a shot.
And for Maple Grove, they've got a lot of good players, but Manon McMahon is one who stands out even on a good team like this.
Yeah, if you don't notice her on the ice, you've fallen asleep. You're not watching the game. Great hands, great speed, sees the ice well, sets her teammates up well, and that little lady can shoot the puck. You will see some amazing hockey out of her tonight. Number 10, keep your eye on her.
All right, we'll see who comes out on top here. Armstrong-Cooper on the road looking to stay with a very good Maple Grove team. The Crimson going to try and take care of business here tonight and stay unbeaten early in this 2018-2019 season. We'll be back with the first period in just a moment here on CCX Sports.
Spend your Thanksgiving weekend Saturday with us on CCX.
Sets up a shot and a goal.
It's the 17th annual Turkey Trot Boys Hockey Tournament, live from the Plymouth Ice Center. At 5 p.m., watch the third place game with the championship game to follow just after 7 o'clock.
And they score!
Golly God.
Turkey Trot features tournament host Wayzata, plus Maple Grove, Holy Family, and 2017 Turkey Trot champion Edina. Watch it all live starting at 5 p.m. on Saturday, November 24th, only on CCX.
How's your hair? Is it pretty?
Steady.
It's pretty.
Maybe honestly.
Welcome back here to the Maple Grove Community Center as we get set for puck drop here tonight. As we said, just the second game of the year for Maple Grove. They won 2-0 over Champlin Park at the Ice Forum in Champlin on Saturday. So the home opener, there's Lucy Morgan. She'll get the start in goal for Maple Grove. She only saw 10 shots the other day, but stopped them all. Boy, she was a great welcome addition to this program last year, moving in from North Dakota, and really solidified them in net. Had a very outstanding year last year, and they expect even better things out of her this year. And we mentioned for Armstrong-Cooper, Nikki Harnett, the senior, who's had a lot of injury problems, but is a very talented goaltender herself. There's a look at Nikki, as we said, signed with New Hampshire at a signing ceremony last week. We are underway as Maple Grove controls it to start things out. Back into their zone they go here. Popped ahead onto the stick of Chloe Corbin. Corbin was a little banged up, didn't play that much over the weekend, but ready to go now. Brings it back to the top. And stick checked away there, and the wings able to come it back the other way. But that puck stolen away and turned by Jenna Brandt, one of those talented young defensemen, a freshman from Maple Grove. Long pass ahead, getting away. Tia Rice, here's another freshman. Rice playing up on the wing on this first line for Maple Grove out there with Corbin and Tristana Tater. Really kind of 1A and 1B lines. Coach Hagelin for Maple Grove was telling us that we don't want to have one line loaded up with all of our goal scorers. We want to have two really capable scoring lines.
Well, it's interesting, too, she talked about Maple Grove has always had a reputation of being a high-scoring team, but she just didn't see how they were going to play defense, and they got off to a good start. Big shutout in their first game against Champlin Park, and only allowed 10 shots during the whole game, which is a really great way to start out the season.
Dumped into the wing zone. They try and break it out as Maple Grove was changing, but unable to do so. And there's a scrum along the blue line. Puck kept in. McMahon trying to kick it to her stick. Couldn't quite find the handle. Then that shot from out high from Bridget Getch was blocked, but recovered. Here comes Manon McMahon now circling back. Coaches couldn't say enough good things about her team-first attitude. I mean, obviously she's a star, but very much a team player too. Carried in here, Lauren Stensley had it chopped away. Hannah Schneider able to push it ahead, looking for Leah O'Brien, who's one of their more experienced players there, number 9 for Armstrong-Cooper. Stensley now picking it up. A sophomore working her way through and gets to the blue line and dumps it on in, and will head off on a change. Teams just getting their feet wet here in the first couple shifts. No scoring chances to speak of yet. Now a turnover, O'Brien, and then dumped it in. And that's going to be a penalty coming up here against Maple Grove. We'll get a body check called here as O'Brien gained control of that puck and dumped it in, and then took a little too much contact right there. It's going to be Mavis Sachs who will go.
And they'll get an opportunity to go on the power play, and wasn't a very good power play last year for Armstrong-Cooper. It's already improved this year by about 3.5 points already for them, and then give them an opportunity. And just a little encouragement here for the Wings. Maybe get a goal lead. To encourage them and see what they can do with that. With a good goaltending behind them, you never know.
Sachs, you could see, like probably 99.9% of hockey players are sent off. Didn't agree with it. Oh, McMahon with the steal. McMahon walking in. Ho-ho! And Harnett got the better of that one. McMahon caught the D by surprise and picked it away from Quinn, but Harnett was ready and stopped the partial breakaway.
Beautiful leg extension there, flat out on the side, on the right side to stop McMahon.
Pass coming across there, but just hopped over Haley Matson's stick. There was a lot of room. And then the pass back out to the point, and the race is on here. Stensley hustling after it. Quinn able to knock it away from her. Flips it ahead now to Paige Lloyd-Holt. And it's offside here against Armstrong-Cooper.
Well, Quinn did a nice job. We talked about her before the game started. Nice speed to cut down on Stensley, because Stensley is really fast and stopped a possible breakaway attempt there. But you see McMahon coming in here and coming in 1-0, and boy, what a stop by Harnett there.
Bang down the rink here as the Crimson on the penalty kill. About 50 seconds to go still in the power play for Armstrong-Cooper. Izzy Kriesel carrying the puck here for the Wings. Takes a bump in the corner here. O'Brien trying to shield the puck and try and bring it into that circle. Now O'Brien getting a shot. A pad save by Morgan. Flipped out front again here and stopped. And the Crimson able to bang it around and back out to center there. Mackenzie Johnson getting there first, but taken away by Tater. Pops free and back to center, where it's dumped in by Emily Herdeen for Maple Grove. Under 10 to go in the power play. Best chance was a shorthanded chance for Mannon McMahon of Maple Grove, but we are still sitting at 0-0, and Sachs now back on the ice for the Crimson. They've killed off the first penalty of the game. Crimson reversing it here, and then the pass to center. Corbin knocking it head to herself. Corbin dropping it for Tater. That shot deflected away by the defenseman Hannah Johnson. Flip to the top of the circle, but intercepted, and the Wings able to come up with it. It was floated on in there by Sadie Bresnahan. And jabbed away by O'Brien, forcing the Crimson and Annika Johnson to retreat a little bit there. Pass ahead now. Sam Stelgis getting a shot, and that one kind of handcuffed Harnett a little bit, but fought it off. Puck comes loose in the circle here. Crimson, Michaela Macklett dropping it back, finding Bridget Getch, pinching down. Thrown to the point. Nice job to keep it in, then dumped back toward the corners. Was a little behind its intended target, Macklett there. Circling out and firing, and Harnett with the stop there for Armstrong-Cooper as we get a whistle with 11:15 to go in the first, and no score on the board here. And a little bit of a choppy start. I think probably the Wings, feeling okay. They're hanging with Maple Grove in the early going at least here, Dan.
Well, they're not letting them get away, with the exception of McMahon's 1-0 breakaway, but Harnett staying on top of it, keeping them in the game and stuff. The speed is the difference there. Seems to be the difference right now, and but it's still a little choppy. Maple Grove hasn't found their flow yet, and if the Wings can keep them off kilter a little bit, it's going to be to their advantage.
And that one knocked wide. There was a good example. Armstrong-Cooper, he came up with a loose puck in the slot. You got to get it out of there. No time to stick handle. They almost cost themselves a goal there with the turnover in front. Here's a pass. McMahon takes it away. Now a backhand try was knocked down. Quinn banking it off the wall, and they'll get it out. See if it has enough steam to be icing. It won't. Jenna Tim back to gather for Maple Grove. Tim stops, trying to reverse it there. Didn't get as much of it as she wanted to. Now takes a return pass. Tim looking long at the blue line here. Tipped to the front of the net by Herdeen, and now Herdeen chases it. Circling out front. Never got a shot attempt away there. Emma Larson now possessing for Maple Grove as she waits for the line change to be completed. Larson trying to put it out front. Harnett sticks it aside. Larson gets it right back. Going to the point, but it's off the skate there of Johnson. She'll have to retreat, and then they misfire. Maple Grove not looking the sharpest here in the first part of this game. I mean, I don't think it's going out on a limb saying that they're a little bit faster and a little more talented team, but they're not playing their style of hockey just yet.
Well, the Wings have got to play angles. They're not going to be able to skate with them. Don't try and skate with them. Stay within a certain area and play angles and get them off their angles. Take away their passing lanes and just keep them outside. Let them play the outside. Let them play the whole rink. You don't have to play the whole rink. Just stay with inside and keep them off their angles.
Dumped on in there by Tia Rice for Maple Grove. Now Rice intercepts that little flip pass, put it out front, but it's intercepted instead here by Quinn for Armstrong-Cooper. Quinn working her way up ice, but then at a chop loose. Tater. Oh, and a big-time collision there. Tater got the better of it. And just chop back out. Wings looking to counter. But a takeaway by Tater. Tater looking up the middle there to Rice. Rice, now Tater will get it. Flips it out front. Wings able to gain possession briefly. Now O'Brien trying to get it out of there, but can't do so. Centering pass here. Turnaround try went off a skate. Wings really dropping back in close, and then Tater's shot sailing wide. Mackenzie Johnson winning that battle. Now sends it back the other way. 8.5 to go here in the first period and no score on the board. Only one real good chance so far. That was for Mannon McMahon, but she was denied by Nikki Harnett of Armstrong-Cooper, and O'Brien will flip it in. Becky Getch back to play it there. Now sending it long for Macklett. Her shot partially blocked there. They hustle after it in the corner. A stick lost. And that stick causing a little havoc right now, but the Crimson fighting through it. AC comes out of there with it, but not for long, as Jenna Brandt did a nice job stepping up to interrupt that attempted breakout.
Yeah, but the Wings here, Jay, they're winning these one-on-one battles out of the corner and stuff, and you know that's where they can have an advantage because it takes away the Crimson speed totally, and it's just mano-a-mano on the boards there, and you know, if they can win those battles, that's a little bit of an even chance for them.
McMahon gathering it here for Maple Grove. Now plays it back. Looking for Jenna Brandt, and now McMahon. McMahon looking up the right wing for Stensley. Another wall battle here. And then a long slapper into the glove of Harnett as Emily Herdeen firing it at the net, so we'll get another face-off here.
Well, the minute they got in, the Crimson got in open ice, they had the advantage, and boy, they just blew it right down the ice. But the minute they got it off into the sideboards, that's when the Wings were able to get it pinned in there and trapped, and they weren't able to really break it free, and bang, the Wings got control of it.
Couple opportunities off the face-off, now wraparound try, and that one sails through as Harnett scrambling to get to her feet. Back out to the point. They look for a tip. We got a penalty out front as McMahon was tripped as she went to the net, and Maple Grove's going to go on the power play. McMahon was just getting free, and a stick came out and got her. And it's going to be Hannah Johnson who will go for the trip.
Now watch McMahon here. Look at where she's going now. She got a shot there. Then she got the wraparound. Now watch her. There she is, back in front of the net again. That's where the goal scorers go. And she gets tripped up.
A minor penalty, as Thomas says, to the Wings, number 7. Hannah Johnson, 2 minutes for tripping at 10:24 the first period.
10:24 the time of Hannah Johnson's tripping minor. So Maple Grove with the power play and looking to get going a little bit here after somewhat of a sluggish start. Out to McMahon, out high. And then a slapper. Oh, it trickled through Harnett, but does not go in. Boy, you could hear it hit her goal stick, but then it kind of snuck through her, but just danced along the goal line and kept going.
The other night, Maple Grove scored 1 power play goal in 3 attempts for 33%. So they got one going in the first game of the year. So we'll see if they can pull one together here.
McMahon up to Tater. Tater working her way toward the corner. McMahon giving it up, and that was a miss hit. Tater will gather it though. Shot from the circle and a pad save there by Harnett. As Emma Larson fired. Now back out for McMahon. McMahon working her way through, pass out front, a couple of tries there, and Harnett is down and is able to cover it up.
Boy, good thing too. They were swarming, but that back door was empty. If they could have got that puck free and over to the back door, it was wide open. But boy, they started feathering some shots. You can see the one trickle through there, got over the top of her leg pad, it looked like. And you see McMahon there getting it open, and they saw Harnett was stuck off onto the right side of the net. If they could have got it back, the back door was open.
Boy, and Emily Herdine out front too.
Yeah.
Just got her, trying to get her stick free there. Had actually quite a bit of room to go underneath the sliding goaltender, but couldn't quite put it home. Well, on some of these passes and a couple of, close to icings, it kind of feels like the ice is a little slow tonight. Am I the only one seeing that, Dan? Or it feels like they're getting some, maybe a little bit of less than great bounces on some of the passes.
It is bouncing a little bit more. You're right, yeah.
Shot blocked. Penalty time is over, so the Wings kill it off. Maple Grove got one pretty good chance out of it. And looking for the tip out front, but Harnett was there and waiting and able to make the save. Now they do get it out. But puck quickly taken right back away by Corbin. And then knocked in deep for the Crimson by Rice. Wings trying to come back the other way there as Bresnahan had it, lost it. Uh-oh, here comes Tater. Was held up a little bit, but still gets it. Tater firing, and it's off the blocker, maybe even the shaft of the goal stick there for Harnett. 3:40 to go in the first. No score on the board. And that one got all the way through, and Harnett able to make the save. And Dan, we talked about Maple Grove, certainly probably more speed and all that, but I think it could be showing up a little bit too that the Wings played 5 games, Maple Grove's only played 1.
Yep. Well, Quinn showed a little experience there by chipping on, I think it was Tater there coming down there. Didn't check her, but chipped her, got a little piece of her. We talk about that in football, just chipping a block there and just slowed her down a little bit. So trying to take away a little bit of that speed by getting as physical as you can in the girls' game. So, they're doing some smart things here.
Tater this time was held up, and this one will be a penalty. And this is going to be a holding call. Tater, to her credit, didn't shy away after being kind of bumped around a little bit last time. And you'll see the hold coming out right there. He just got up onto her stick and under her arm a little bit.
Fine line between, doing a nice defensive piece and cheating. But what are you going to do? She's pushing in on there, so, So we'll see if Maple Grove can get this power play going. They came close. Oh.
Kara Cook called for the hold there for the Wings. They have a chance for a 2-on-1. So second penalty in about 3 minutes taken here by the Wings.
Well, so far this year, the Wings are working at a 62% penalty kill rate.
McMahon circling in behind the net. Giving it off to Tater. Back for Mann and McMahon. He'll relay it around to Larson. Comes into the circle, a shot. Harnett to save there on Larson. Back around to McMahon. And that shot deflected twice. Tater, if it had gotten to her immediately, was going to have a great opportunity, but it bounced a little bit and Quinn was able to get there. Back out to McMahon. McMahon walking it in, shooting, and that hits traffic in front, and the Wings will get a clear. So Morgan out for a skate here and puts it on the stick of McMahon. The Wings having to hurry to finish a line change here. McMahon going to the net. Mann and McMahon. Ew, and never got a shot. Then the next one hitting the pipe. A little give and go here. Tater fakes the pass. Now back for Larson. 1:35 to go in the period and under 20 to go in the power play for Maple Grove. Boy, they've come close a couple, but nothing in yet. Down low with it, looking for Tater. Over-skated there by the defender. And then it comes bouncing past Larson, who had a swing and a miss. Had a bouncing pass there. That one off a skate, and the Wings finally gaining control. And they just do get it out. Penalty time is now over, so the Wings have killed it off, although it got a little dicey a time or two there.
Well, it's gonna, but they're doing the right thing, and then, you know, they're not leaving any rebounds for one thing. That's been good. They're trying to keep it clear in front as much as they can, but
out high it comes, and Harnett with a glove catch there. She got a good look at that one. Jenna Tim got away a good shot, but there wasn't really any traffic developed in front. And Harnett coming out to meet it. There's a look at McMahon going to the net. That one stopped, and then as she backpedals, hits the crossbar. Harnett's she's a scrambler. She, you know, at times it might hurt her, but at times it's going to help her make some really big saves too, as she went sprawling there.
No, it's too bad McMahon doesn't have any skating, eye, stick, or shooting skills at all, Jay. It's just a shame to see all that waste.
Now you gotta, to be fair, you gotta tell Mannon what you usually do. Hit the net, hit the net. Now, crossbar is awful close, but.
Oh boy, I'll tell you. I am impressed though with Harnett though. You know, she is doing a remarkable job here.
Under 20 to go in the period. It bounces back into the Maple Grove zone. And Brandt chases it down here for the Crimson. Maybe time for one more opportunity late here for Maple Grove. And they're going to run out of time, and so the first period comes to an end. And maybe somewhat surprisingly, a scoreless first period here. Maple Grove ranked number 8 in AA. A little bit of a slow start. They've also run into a hot goalie. So our score after one is Armstrong-Cooper nothing and Maple Grove nothing. We'll be back to hear from the Wings head coach Elsa Brussel in just a moment.
Spend your Thanksgiving weekend Saturday with us on CCX.
Sets up a shot and a goal.
It's the 17th annual Turkey Trot Boys Hockey Tournament, live from the Plymouth Ice Center. At 5 p.m., watch the third place game with a championship game to follow just after 7 o'clock.
And they score!
Golly God.
Turkey Trot features tournament host Wayzata, plus Maple Grove, Holy Family, and 2017 Turkey Trot champion Edina. Watch it all live starting at 5 p.m. on Saturday, November 24th, only on CCX.
Overall, what was your impression of that first period of your team?
I think good. I mean, I think penalties on both sides made it kind of a wonky period, probably for them and for us. I mean, with, 6 of the minutes we were in the box or they were in the box. So it would be nice to get our lines rolling together because it does split them up. But I think in terms of our speed, it was there. It's more just finding a way to get shots. I mean, I think we had 4 shot attempts and only 2 shots on net. So we just need to find a way to get out of our D zone and get some offense.
Yeah, I thought your team defensively, though, was pretty solid in terms of playing angles, not really giving up a lot of, really high-level chances there.
Yeah, I mean, they know what they're doing in the D zone. We spent a lot of time there. But I think something that's a little different for them, though, this game is that Maple Grove stretches on their breakout. So, like, when they're already below their own goal line, they've already got girls up at the blue and up at the red line. And so that's kind of throwing us off where our D have to back out and our forwards aren't really filling in to hold those pucks in. So I think if we want to get out of our D zone, we've also got to find a way to maintain pressure in the offensive zone.
Thanks for joining us. Good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
Elsa Brussel, the head coach for the Armstrong-Cooper Wings. Her team hanging in with a good Maple Grove team so far. We are scoreless at the end of one period here at the Maple Grove Community Center. We'll be back with more of our live coverage of Northwest Suburban Girls Hockey on CCX Sports.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
And welcome back, the home of the Maple Grove Crimson. Home opener tonight for Maple Grove. As we said, this is their second game where the Wings have already played 5 here. We are scoreless through 1 period, and let's take a look at some of the highlights in the first period. Not a ton of great chances, but definitely a few times, and particularly for Maple Grove, and particularly right here, McMahon on a shorthanded breakaway, but Nikki Harnett making a stop. And then an opportunity there and a wraparound try here that goes all the way through. And then a stop here that just trickles through Harnett and almost rolled in, but not quite. And then McMahon carrying it into the middle, shovels the pass over. It's batted around behind it. Actually, Harnett kind of overcommitted a little bit there, but they couldn't get a stick. It kind of felt like Armstrong-Cooper had the rabbit's foot with them a little bit in that first period. I mean, every close one that could have went in didn't. And a lot of it was because of good goaltending for sure. But here's McMahon here stopped, and then watch the next one off the crossbar. And that's about as close as you can come without scoring right there. And you see the shots heavily favoring Maple Grove in that first period. The Wings basically had 0 offense at all, but did a pretty solid job of hanging on and fighting some things off. You know, the couple penalties coach was saying were a little bit of a factor in that first period. So Armstrong-Cooper probably a heavy underdog coming in, but hanging in so far. Our score after 1 period is Armstrong-Cooper nothing and Maple Grove nothing. We'll be back with more here from Maple Grove Community Center on CCX Sports. Welcome back here to Maple Grove as the Zambonis doing their thing here. We had some youth hockey action between periods as well here for the young players, future Crimson. Well, we've had a pretty good fall season in all sports, including soccer, and John Jacobson and I, this past week's Sports Jam show, unveiling our all-area teams in boys and girls soccer. We're going to take a look at the Sports Jam all-area boys soccer team right now. We'll start our Sports Jam boys soccer team in goal with one of the state's best keepers. Brex Hudson Hecker posted a 13-2-3 record with 14 shutouts and a 0.32 goals against. Hecker earned first-team All-State honors and has great technical skills. Our defenders include number 5 Drew Collins of Champlin Park, an All-Metro and All-State pick, as well as a repeat selection for our team. Collins is one of the state's best defenders and shut down 2 of the conference's top strikers. Collins is being recruited by several Division I schools. Number 20, Jimmy Ostapek, was a 3-year starter for Wayzata and played in 3 state tournaments. A solid one-on-one defender, Ostapek was a great leader for the Trojans. Number 4, Josh Taylor of Breck, was a dominant defender for the Mustangs. A first-team All-State and All-Metro second-team pick, Taylor was team MVP and chipped in with 3 goals and 2 assists. He's headed to West Point. Number 12, Caleb Robinson of Maple Grove, rounds out our defenders. He was named best defender for the Crimson and earned all-conference honors. He had 2 goals and 3 assists as a big part of the Crimson corner kicks. Our midfielders include number 13, Prince Massaquoi of Osseo. The all-conference selection had 3 hat tricks this season and totaled 13 goals and 6 assists. Fared well against Orioles rivals Park Center and Champlin Park. Number 17, Stuart Sain of Wayzata, wrapped up a strong 4-year career by earning All-State and second-team All-Metro honors. Creative as a distributor and shooter, Sain had 4 goals and 11 assists and scored the game winner in overtime against top seed Washburn to send the Trojans to the Section 6AA title game. Number 9, Jack Gleckler of Maple Grove, is another 4-year player. The Crimson team MVP, all-conference pick Gleckler, had 7 goals and 4 assists and will play collegiately at St. Thomas. Number 10, Herbert Endley of Totino Grace leads our forwards. The Star Tribune Metro Player of the Year and Class A Mr. Soccer winner, Endley had 24 goals and 11 assists. He's the all-time leading scorer for TG and will play for Indiana. Number 10, Chief Williams of Park Center earned second-team All-State honors. Fast and strong on the ball, Williams had 13 goals and 4 assists and is a great finisher. Number 7, Stevenson Lamar of Totino Grace earned first-team All-State honors. Equally good as a distributor and scorer, Lamar had 15 goals and 6 assists for an Eagles team that was ranked number 1 in the state before falling in their section final. Counting out our squad is Champlin Park forward number 9, Caleb Haynes. An all-conference and second-team All-State pick, Haynes had 15 goals and 2 assists for the Rebels, who won 11 games this fall. It's a great group, the Sports Jam All-Area Boys Soccer Team. And these guys had good seasons too, the honorable mention picks for boys soccer. And a great team. Thanks for all the memories, guys. It was a fun season on the soccer field. And in the second intermission, we'll be taking a look at the all-area girls soccer team. It is 0-0, Armstrong-Cooper and Maple Grove. We will be back with the start of the second period in just a moment here on CCX.
Action!
Welcome back as we get set for period number 2. Maple Grove gathering there, and they certainly controlled the flow of the play in the first period, Dan, no doubt about that, and had far more chances, but they a little bit snake bit, and a few things they maybe didn't do quite as well as they would have liked. Kind of that combination plus a good goalie against them, and we're still at 0-0.
Yep. I'd like to see them get more people in front of the net. They're going to have to get in our nets, grill a little bit, and get some dirty goals. Let's not make it pretty. Let's go get it. Let's really put it on the attack. They need to get more shots and really have a little more sustained time in the zone and really go after it in front. Wings, the same thing. They need to get a little more sustained time in the attack zone.
You have to wonder if, or worry a little bit too if you're Morgan about being a little bit rusty. I mean, if all of a sudden a great chance comes, that wasn't too bad a one by Quinn. She just really hasn't been able to be involved in the play much because it's been not in their end much at all.
Well, in this second game in a row, too, she only took 10 shots the other night, too, with the Chapel Park Coon Rapids. And, yeah.
Offside here at the line and get an early whistle here. Penalty boxes are empty to begin the period. We did have a total of 3 penalties in that first period. See McMahon facing off with Kara Cook. Cook just an 8th grader. They like her ability and feistiness though.
Well, Coach is talking about this first line of O'Brien, Cook, and Lytle being a pretty good line. She thinks they could play with pretty much anybody. It's just a question of experience. They're very young.
Oh, a turnover there, and it's a goal. It goes in off Larson, the defender in front, and Armstrong-Cooper will strike first. Leo O'Brien's going to get the goal as she threw it out front, and it goes off a Maple Grove player, Larson, and in. You see Larson right here. Nice job to jump up by O'Brien, and then just throws it out front off a skate and past Morgan.
Boy, do you know how bad it feels to be a defenseman and watch one go off your skate into your own net? And the goalie looks at you like, really? Oh my gosh. Well, a break for the Wings, and sometimes that's all it takes. And, just kind of all of a sudden, really? Okay. Well, maybe it might be our night.
Number 9, Leah O'Brien.
Unassisted goal for O'Brien. Now, there's no question about it that it's a bit of a lucky bounce.
No question.
But she made a really nice play to come up with the puck in the first place. And so you kind of like to see the reward for that.
Luck has been hard work, and the bounce goes to your favor. No question about it.
Knocked back down to the corner here, so the Wings striking first early here, just 40 seconds into the second period. And that pass failing to connect as they look for Jenna Ott, and Morgan will come out and stop it. And it wasn't too long. I mean, that admittedly a fluke goal, but I was just saying about Morgan, you know, it's hard to be super sharp when you haven't been involved much. And not to say that that one was her fault in any way, as it went off a skate and carom pass. But
well, now you've added the old pucker factor to Lucy now. Lucy Morgan now, and how tense is she going to be? She needs to stay loose now. Okay, it happened. Big deal. No, let it go. Just be the goalie that she always has been. It happened. You got to have confidence in your mates are going to get another goal and get rolling here.
Sachs carrying it in. Battle for it in the corner here is Quinn trying to work that puck free, and now ultimately does. O'Brien working her way into the Wing zone, or into the Crimson zone, shoots, and Morgan with a big stop there. O'Brien with the best offensive opportunity right there, other than obviously the one that caromed in, but made a nice move to the net, and Morgan made a big save. Crimson getting it back here. Tater passing it to herself. Tater a shot and fought off by Harnett. Tater gets it back, throwing it out front. And the Wings get it back to center. Larson up with it there. Throws it back in where it's chased down by Haley Matson. Pace of the game has really picked up. You get the feeling Maple Grove got a little irritated by giving up that goal. But the Wings have kind of picked their pace up with it. Tater back to chase it down. Tater lost it. Here's a shot going just wide from Julia Campion, who made a nice play to force that turnover.
And now I will pipe in. Julie, you got to hit the net. You got a good opportunity. Hit the net.
Crimson just onside there. Corbin circling. D really backing off. There's that traffic in front you were asking for. The puck bouncing off a body and over the net.
Tia Rice getting right in front of her net, right in her grill, and that's where she needed to be. Good job by the Crimson there.
And there's a turnover in close again. Morgan making a big stop on Autumn Lindgren. Now the Crimson coming back the other way. D really retreating. Harnett to save the rebound, and it rolls just wide after the attempt by Rice. Boy, the defenseman backed all the way in. She was so worried about being beat that she practically landed in Harnett's lap. Here's Mannon McMahon circling. Faking the shot. McMahon to the front, shooting, and then the rebound is in. Stensley buries it.
There we go. Now there was one thing that was missing in the first period. A Crimson right by the net, not 10, 15 feet away, right by the net to gather that rebound by McMahon and putting it back in the net. And that's they needed to get on the board. McMahon working in close, gets the shot, and of course the save right away. And the rebound comes through, and Stensley sitting right there inside the crease, inside the slot, gather the rebound up. Look at, she creeped right in there and got it, and that's what they needed.
She'll get her first goal of the season.
Scoring for Maple Grove, and 4:13 of the second period, number 16, Lauren Stensley. With the assist going to number 10, Mannon McMahon. That's Stensley.
McMahon getting the assist, and there's a stick save made by Harnett. So evened up at a goal apiece. It came at 4:13 here of the second, and back to the circle. There's Harnett with another stop. Wings a little slow on the clear, but now they get it out. Lloyd Holt. And a rolling puck just escaped her there. Knocked away from McMahon. The follow-up, and they're offside as it's brought into the zone by Herdeen.
A little more up and down this period than it was in the first period. You said that you were right, Jay. The pace has picked up quite a bit. Now can the Wings play this way, or do they need to slow it down like they had it in the first period?
It's made for more entertaining hockey, I would say, in the second period. The things just seemed a little bit slow, a little sluggish in that first.
Well, as you were talking to the Wings coach, you know, she wanted the girls to be exposed to this kind of pace in this size rink so that the girls could get used to playing this way. She's got a lot of, she wants her young girls to learn how to play this way. This is the way she wants them to play. So, you know, now we're at that pace. So we'll see if they can maintain this pace and play for the rest of the game this way.
Yeah, I thought that was a good comment from her too. You know, as a coach, you're looking to get your team better. Not, especially in November, not so concerned with the wins and losses as just, are you playing the game the right way? Are you getting better? Are you working together as a unit? And the only way to make yourself better is to play against some good teams. She said they went up north and they won one, lost one, but said it wasn't particularly well played hockey, and she didn't think they really grew from that trip so much.
Well, this will make them a better team overall. I mean, they're not going to play a bunch of Maple Groves on their schedule. They're not going to play Edinas and, you know, better teams in their schedule.
Back out top, Larson. Floating the pass out front, Harnett. Oh, a great play to poke check, but then the turnaround is in. Macklett will get it. Harnett actually made a really nice play to reach out and poke that one, but it left her in a tough spot as she was down on the ice, and didn't take long for Macklett to make them pay.
All right, but watch the screen here now on this replay. Look at how many white jerseys there are in close on this net. They're still there. There's at least two right there within touching of that puck. We didn't see that in the first period a lot. And that's the difference. They're grabbing up them rebounds. Harnett's making the initial save, but now there's Crimson there to grab the rebound and throw it right back at her, especially when she's down now.
Macklett will get her first goal of the season, and it's 2-1 Crimson.
Sachs and number 7, Emma Larson.
Sachs and Larson get the assist on Macklett's first of the year. 6:03 of the second, and it is 2-1 Maple Grove. They've scored now 2 goals in less than a 2-minute stretch here, as they have kind of, I had the feeling at the time that goal that Armstrong-Cooper scored might really get their attention. O'Brien's shot blocked. Looks like it caught up, and now that comes free.
Well, Jay, as we talked earlier, they're the team that we said they were, that they're claiming to be. Yeah, it better have. And it sure has. I mean, now we can see the pace, we can see the rhythm, the aggressiveness. Yeah, they're playing well. I'll tell you what, it sure woke Lucy Morgan up, did it? Oh, boy. She's made some nice saves, too.
Yeah, she was she wasn't really tested at all in the first period. And then that one goes in off a skate, but actually after that, there were a couple pretty quality opportunities for AC. They did some nice job causing a couple turnovers and getting a couple of chances, and so she got more involved in the game for sure. Long pass ahead here. Race for it. Tater trying to free it up. Now McMahon. McMahon turning back the other way. She can really skate. McMahon to the front. Faking, now shooting. Harnett to stop. And then it trickles to the side of the net and is scooped up.
Boy, I'll tell you what, you don't think McMahon hasn't got Harnett's attention? She has just been radaring her. Wherever she goes, Harnett's just working her angles all the time on McMahon the whole night. It's almost to the point where she's willing to let anybody else score, but she ain't willing to let McMahon score.
Puck still loose in the circle and controlled by Mackenzie Johnson, but not for long. McMahon took it away from her. Both players go down. Now Herdeen. McMahon sending it back behind. Stensley, who had the first goal for the Crimson, now gets the puck back. See the Wings really dropping back into a tight shell out front. And another goal here. McMahon will get it. As they put it out front, Harnett was trying to find it in the tangle of bodies, and McMahon found it first. And it's 3-1 Crimson.
Well, I kind of shot that dream for Harnett there. McMahon finally got her goal. But she has worked hard. She's worked hard from the moment the first puck dropped.
See, it's tipped. It goes off McMahon's arm and then right down to the ice, and she tucks it away.
And she did the dirty work on that one. She was wrapping herself right around the front of the net. Two Crimson players right in front there getting dirty in front of Harnett. Taking her line side away. She couldn't control the rebound and made her pay.
McMahon getting her first of the year. She did have 1 assist on Saturday against Champlain Park Coon Rapids. And
yes, she did.
I said topped the 30-goal mark a year ago. And Armstrong-Cooper, they're kind of feeling the buzzsaw right now, so they used their time out here in the middle of the second period.
I think it's a good call. Good call. Settle them down. I don't know if they did well, but they'll get them settled down to play good defense in front of the net because they are getting overwhelmed in front of their own net now. And they were controlling it well in the first period.
Well, we kind of talked about at the end of the first period that, you know, they were hanging in, but they were kind of getting a lot of the bounces and breaks to go their way in this period. And Maple Grove's kind of changed that situation.
Well, they were letting those rebounds, they were getting them cleared out. They were getting a stick on them. But Crimson weren't putting two bodies in front. They were kind of outside, kind of keeping the slot area clean. And now the Crimson aren't letting that be. They're getting right in front and right in the nozzle and the grill of Harnett.
Number 18, Caitlin Quinn, 2 minutes for a high stick. That's 7:42.
So there was a delayed penalty coming on that one, but McMahon's goal means Quinn will not have to sit. I didn't see that the initial time, but so 3-1 Maple Grove, and back to action we go here as they have pounced with 3 goals here in a span of about 3.5 minutes after Armstrong-Cooper had gotten the game's opening goal. Herdeen carries it hard up the left side here for the Crimson. McMahon picking it up in the corner. McMahon's pass deflecting and right into Harnett there, so get another stoppage. Got a little bit of a break over Thanksgiving, but then Maple Grove right back here Tuesday night facing Centennial. That's I would say is probably right there with anybody on their list of rivals from some of their past meetings, and so opportunity to see the Crimson in action on home ice again on next Tuesday, the 27th.
Aside from that, they've got a murderous schedule coming up.
Played ahead here to Sachs. Controlled there by Kriesel, but then Larson got it away, and here come the Crimson. Nice tic-tac-toe passing here. Stelgis had it jabbed away. Macklett following it up. Macklett into the circle, drops a pass back. They get it back to her. Oh, and Harnett robs her. Boy, some really nice passing by that third line for Maple Grove. They were unselfish, got it back to Macklett in front. And Harnett showing that she's still in there. She is giving up a couple because of the pressure, but nice save there.
Well, she got out of the net. She got out on top of the crease here real quick. And a nice save and gave her enough room to grab that puck that slipped over the top of her.
Wings on the rush here and throwing it on net, and Morgan does a nice job directing that to the corner, not giving up anything to the player out front. Bank to center, but then sent right back to that Crimson line. Maple Grove able to get possession back here. Tia Rice will throw it on in. Tater giving chase and is going to get there first. And you could see early on the overall edge in team speed for Maple Grove is fairly substantial. So the Wings, hanging, keeping them at 0 for quite a while, but then 3 goals coming in a of a 3.5-minute stretch. 3-1 Crimson. Wings trying to counter here. And Tater puts it out front. Here's a chance, and Harnett making the stop there on McMahon, who had just come off the bench. Bit of a bad turnover there, and Tater helping to try and take advantage.
Boy, that's a sight you don't want to see in front of your net. Number 10 all by herself.
McMahon got knocked down. It looked like Quinn might have been fortunate to not be whistled there. McMahon wins the draw here for Grove. Now it comes down low to McMahon. Backhander, stop by Harnett with the blocker. And they can't get it out though. Here's McMahon, pass, and Harnett knocked that away. And we got a penalty coming up as two players went down, got tangled, and we're gonna get a holding call here. And I think it's gonna be on Herdine. It was a little hard to tell because they both were kind of locked up. It is going to be Herdine of Maple Grove who goes, right?
Yeah. Okay, well, just the arm extension, I think, by Herdine there kind of made the deciding factor there. So
second power play now for Armstrong-Cooper, and Herdine, I think she might have a little bit of an argument there. That looked like just a little bit of a battle that probably could have been a no call there.
2 minutes for body check.
I wouldn't argue that one with you, Jay. It's kind of looking at Maple Grove's schedule here. They still got Minnetonka, Eden Prairie, Stillwater, Breck, and Wayzata on their schedule this year. I mean, plus who's in their conference.
So let's see if the Wings can do anything with this power play. Oh, it looked like it was going to be a shot opportunity there for Lloydell, but it was knocked away. Puck intercepted, but the Crimson unable to clear it. Now it comes free. McMahon up with it. Had Stensley way out in front of her, but didn't really have an angle to get it to her. Now McMahon brings it in herself, shorthanded. Stensley in there on the penalty kill, chasing the Wings back. Now O'Brien picks it up. Nice pass ahead onto the tape of Cook. But jabbed away, and Stensley getting it to McMahon. 2-on-1 shorthanded. McMahon to the front. And McMahon, and that one partially blocked. Harnett scrambling back into the net. Stensley going to throw it back out to the point. And, whoa, that one nearly bounced in. Stensley bringing it to the front again. Stensley all alone, and Harnett stops her. Armstrong-Cooper, though, can't be thrilled that one player is beating three on a couple of occasions. They kind of got bailed out by their goalie as Stensley walked right through them all.
Between Stensley and McMahon, they're their own wrecking crews here for the Wings power play. Ooh, bouncer.
Boy,
ouch.
That was a fortunate one. And here's a great stop by Harnett. Just coming out to cut the angle down, just takes it in the chest there.
Just lunged at it, cutting down the angle dramatically.
And we get a whistle here. The good news is she made a couple great saves. The bad news is when you're on the power play, you don't think your goalie should have to be making great saves.
A little extra work here, and you're not getting any extra grade for it.
Controlled here by the Crimson, and a shot attempt in tight there from Stelgis. Stelgis working it here, eating some more valuable time up. It's been all Crimson while the Wings are on the power play. Now we've got a penalty coming up against Armstrong-Cooper. That's going to be a trip down there in the corner. As it'll be Mackenzie Johnson who will go. See the brakes put on, and then the stick comes in, knocks the skate out. Pretty easy call there.
Stick penalty. Now we're going to start seeing maybe how many stick penalties they start taking. That's a sign of fatigue And maybe the speed of the Crimson is starting to wear them down here.
Yeah, it does have that feel a little bit. I was thinking that when they were out there on the power play and just chasing.
Yeah, they're just the speed and quickness of the Crimson is just really dominating the Wings power play here.
Larson carrying it in, fires high and wide. So Crimson through the power play here, leading it 3-1. Now Herdine firing, and Harnett with the stop there for Armstrong-Cooper.
Good job by Matson in front for the Wings, just really wrestling the Crimson player in front just to give Harnett a good view of the puck in front.
Off the draw, Wings able to get to it and slide it down the rink here. McMahon having her goalie notify her, you got somebody on you here a little bit, and they turnover forced. Try to get a backhander away. Wings asking for a penalty. They don't get it. Campion working hard. Now Tater. She battles through a defender. Tater to the front. And denied. Now the Wings coming back the other way with Quinn. Her shot blocked. Gets it back again. They're changing behind her. Now gets some help off the bench. Out front. Morgan has a big save, and then we'll cover it up. A rising shot from Kara Cook. Boy, a really smart play by Quinn, and also it must have been some pretty good communication too, as she realized she was alone and waited for help.
Did not try to press the attack, took it back into a corner like there, and then she saw the pass there, and a good shot. Really made Morgan stretch there, and Cook came in and just made a nice play. Seems like both teams, their penalty kill is offensively more effective than their power play is.
I think Cook might have been one of the ones they were talking about. A couple of the players were telling me earlier that, they said undoubtedly they need to score more this year, and they said we got a couple of young ones that we think have some good hands, and Cook is definitely one of those. 8th grader. Under 3 to go here in the second period. It's Maple Grove 3 and Armstrong-Cooper 1. A much more eventful second period than first. A turnover there. Puck still loose. Harnett thought she had it. Then she lunges and no goal. Doing the snow angel there is Harnett. Penalty time ends too.
Wow. I'm watching in front of that net, and I'm seeing that wide open angle. All of a sudden, bam, Harnett was there. It was like, that should have been a goal. She didn't know what it was, and she just all of a sudden drops down, and she's just there when the puck got there. She's done that all night.
Just a wild lunge for it at the end.
Yeah. But, I just love the way the Crimson, though, have responded here, too, Jay. They've just, this period, they've been hunger all over that net. It's just, they knew what they had to do to start scoring some goals, and they've really done it well in this period.
Coach Brusso, I think, complaining, looking for a call that they didn't get. Referee obliging with an explanation.
Yeah, rightly so. Why not?
Wings come out of there with it out of the corner. As up the right side comes Quinn. Rolls it in deep and chases it down herself. Then gets a little help. Armstrong-Cooper, you touched on it earlier, Dan. They're not content to, the first period they just were fighting them off, and yeah, they were still, even 0-0. But I don't think that's, game long. What they were just hoping for was to cling to it and hang on. They wanted to come and see if they couldn't get some things going themselves offensively, and they've actually done it in the second.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's amazing what getting a puck in the net does to your mentality. Now, yeah, it was, quote-unquote, if you want to call it lucky. But like you said, it was generated by some hard work, and the puck bounced for them.
Lloyd'll slapping that one wide of the net. Crimson unable to get it out. O'Brien, who has the goal that went in off a defenseman's skate, trying to tuck it in the short side and bounces behind the net. Now a centering pass. Lloyd'll have it poked away by Morgan, then it bounces off a defender and Morgan has to pounce on that one. Well, we've seen Harnett having to make a lot of spectacular saves, and Morgan has been more than capable here too. Poke check there, and then the second try got to the net, but not with much on it anymore because it hit a defender on the way.
It's a lot more fun playing in the attack zone than it is in the defensive zone, though.
Slam to the corner here, and puck freed up out front. Centering pass made there by Lloyd'll. Now the Crimson out of there with it as we come under a minute to play. Here comes McMahon. Man and McMahon to the front, and she scores. Second in a row for McMahon as she gets one in the final minute of the period here for the Crimson to make it 4-1.
Nice move there. Comes across and just turns the Jets on. Another move there. Just a nice shot into the lower left-hand corner.
Kind of a good illustration, too, about placement of the puck. You don't always have to hit the top corner of the net and potentially miss the net. He just slid that one hard and low back against the flow.
Good look at where she was shooting when she hit the spot.
It's an unassisted goal for McMahon. Second of the night, second in a row, second of the season for Manon. Tater intercepting that. Crimson looking for more late in the period here. Under 25 to go. Tater to the front. Harnett with a stop. Pinching in is Larson. Now in behind, centering pass there, and it bounces away. Wings desperately need to clear this, but they can't do it so far. Oh, is that in? No signal. And apparently no goal, and then Tater was shoved in the back. Looks like it's not going to be a goal, even though it did wind up ultimately in the net, but no indication that they're calling it a goal. So we reach the end of an eventful second period. Wings got the first goal, but the Crimson scoring the next 4 in a row. And so after 2 periods, it is Maple Grove 4 and Armstrong-Cooper 1. We will be back with more here from Maple Grove Community Center in a moment.
Spend your Thanksgiving weekend Saturday with us on CCX.
Sets up a shot and a goal.
It's the 17th annual Turkey Trot Boys Hockey Tournament, live from the Plymouth Ice Center. At 5 p.m., watch the third place game with a championship game to follow just after 7 o'clock.
And they score.
Golly God.
Turkey Trot features tournament host Wayzata, plus Maple Grove, Holy Family, and 2017 Turkey Trot champion Edina. Watch it all live starting at 5 p.m. on Saturday, November 24th, only on CCX.
Welcome back here to Maple Grove Community Center. The Crimson taking over in the second period, now leading 4-1. Amber Heglin, the head coach with Maple Grove, joins us. And what changed from that first period to the second for your team?
You know, Nikki's a great goaltender, and we know that she's going to be tough to beat. And we just talked about how we need to spread out the zone and take away our eyes and get somebody in front, and that we're going to have to go into the middle and into the fire, as we have said to our team all along, and that's our motto this year, to get some dirty goals and some ugly goals, and we went hard to the net.
Obviously, your team has some good talent, a good mixture of age and everything. Overall, how do you feel about this potential for this team this season?
We've talked about that. We shared with them that they do have potential, and people have recognized that, and that's not something to sit back on. It's something to force us to get to work, and it's a call to action and make sure that we are continuing to push ourselves to grow daily.
Obviously, the trend was good late in that second period. What do you tell your team now as you head into the third to try and close this one out?
Yeah, well, we need to keep working. We need to continue to go and win battles along the boards and make sure that we are playing in the defensive zone and picking up sticks and taking away their opportunities. Otherwise, they'll be able to capitalize and score. So we just got to keep going forward.
All right, Amber, thanks for joining us. Good luck in the third.
Thank you.
Amber Hegland, the head coach of the Maple Grove Crimson, is her team now leading it by a score of 4-1. And Amber was an assistant for a brief time in the Armstrong-Cooper program when Kevin Gray, who is now her assistant at Maple Grove, was the head coach with the Wings. We'll be back with more of our live coverage here of girls hockey on CCX Sports right after this.
What these young people is doing and knowing.
I was at work and I just got a text from a number that I didn't know.
I sent him a text. He texted me back and say, "Who dis?" And I just thought that was the funniest thing.
The next few weeks, you just made fun of me, like would answer the door and say, "Who dis?"
Who dis?
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at AmericaLet'sDoLunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
We are at Maple Grove Community Center, where Maple Grove leads Armstrong-Cooper by a score of 4-1. In fact, all 5 of the goals came in that second period. So let's look at some of the highlights from a very eventful period. Not that the first period was bad, but the second had a lot more going. Here's a steal by O'Brien, throws it out front off a defenseman's skate and in, and Armstrong-Cooper stunning Maple Grove by taking a 1-0 lead 40 seconds in. But then Maple Grove goes to work. McMahon out front, knocked down the shot there, and Stensley able to pump it in. That tied the score up at 1 apiece. And then they get an opportunity to poke check by Harnett, and then just turning and firing was Macklett, burying that one over the shoulder. So they took the lead there at 2-1. That was about 2 minutes after the first goal. Then thrown to the front, McMahon, it bounces up off her arm, and then down to the ice, and she shovels it in for her first goal at 7:42. And then McMahon carrying it up ice here. This one late in the last minute of the period. Makes a nice move side to side and gets Harnett momentum going that way with her and slides it back the other way into the corner of the net. So her second goal of the night and second of the season. You see the shots, fairly sizable head from Maple Grove through 2 periods. They've already had 43 shots on net. And you see power plays. Neither team has been able to convert yet, but Maple Grove certainly dominant later in that second period. They'll try and do the same in the third. We'll take a timeout, come back with more here from the Maple Grove Community Center. You're watching girls hockey from the Northwest Suburban Conference here on CCX Sports.
I'm Rudy Tempesta. I'm 92 years old. I fought in World War II. Then I came home, worked for the post office for 70 years. I've been getting Meals on Wheels, and I enjoy it. The most important thing about Meals on Wheels is you meet the people, which to me is fantastic. You need people to keep your brain moving. That's what life is about. It's love and having a conversation with people.
And welcome back here to Maple Grove as the Crimson leading Armstrong-Cooper 4-1. And first period we saw the Sports Jam All-Area Boys Soccer team, and we're going to take a look in just a moment at the girls team. And I'll give you a little hint. Somebody who's out on the ice tonight for Maple Grove you'll be seeing in the next few minutes. Let's take a look. John Jacobson has the All-Area girls soccer team.
Let's start our team with a talented group of forwards. Maple Grove's number 19, Manon McMahon, set school single-season records for points this year. The senior netted 22 goals with 12 assists. The three-time all-conference player was named first-team All-State. Park Center's number 7, Gabby Bieberg, was a versatile and talented performer and a bright spot for the Pirates this fall. The junior scored 13 goals, second most for a season in PC history. She was all Northwest Suburban Conference. Champlin Park's number 6, Alex Lotz, was a big reason why the Rebels finished with their best record in 12 years. The diminutive forward was a tough competitor and talented, too. The senior scored 24 goals in the year and was the team's offensive MVP and selected first-team All-State.
Right out of the picture book.
Now to the midfield at Wayzata's number 2, Lily Gilbertson. The Class AA finalist for Ms. Soccer was named first-team All-Metro and first-team All-State. She netted 4 goals to go along with 17 assists and will play Big Ten soccer next year at Northwestern. Benilde St. Margaret's number 7, Amanda Cassidy, was a huge contributor for the Red Knights. The senior midfielder scored 20 goals and added 8 assists. She was second-team All-Metro and will play next year at Loyola Chicago. Number 6, Lavin Douglas, is a talented midfielder who finished her 4-year career at Hopkins this fall. The All-Lake Conference and All-State player heads to North Dakota State next season to continue her playing career. Maple Grove's number 12, LJ Kolodge, played a great midfield for an outstanding Crimson team. The Ms. Soccer finalist was named first-team All-Metro this fall and twice selected first-team All-State. Kolodge scored 7 goals with 8 assists on the season. Number 14, Wayzata's Megan Maleka, was a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year for the Trojans. The senior defender scored 3 goals this year and capped a great career by being named first-team All-Metro and All-State. She'll play next year at DePaul University. Maleka's teammate, number 6, Eva Brewer, was another top-notch defender for the Trojans. She was a top-scoring defender on Wayzata, netting 8 goals. Good quick pass. Brewer will put it toward the net and in. The second-team All-State player made the All-Tournament team at State and will play next year at the University of Minnesota. Cooper's number 21, Nora Griffin-Wiesner, helped the Hawks team improve in her 5 years of varsity soccer. Her coach said Nora possesses tenacity, technical skill, work ethic, and an infectious enthusiasm for the game. The All-Conference senior will play at Minnesota Duluth next year. Maple Grove's number 17, Jasmine Gates, was a rock-solid defender for the Crimson. The senior played in 4 section championships and 2 state tournaments. A shutdown defender, Gates was a 4-time All-Northwest Suburban Conference player. Armstrong's number 5, Julia Rawls, was a multiple-time All-Northwest Suburban Conference defender for the Falcons. The senior finished the season with a goal and 3 assists. She was named second-team All-State. Finally, our goalies, and Wayzata's Madison Lowe. The senior is one of the best keepers in the state. She finished her career with 20 shutouts, 6th best in the school's rich soccer history. Lowe had a goals against average this season of 0.54 and will join teammate Lily Gilbertson at Northwestern next year. Finally, Champlin Park's Malia Brady posted 9 shutouts this fall and allowed just 14 goals on the season for a very good Rebels team. The All-Conference Junior has won the team's Rebel Award for 3 consecutive years. That's our squad, and it's a good one. The 2018 Sports Jam All-Area Girls Soccer Team. And here are the honorable mention selections for girls soccer.
Thank you very much, John. Some great players there on the girls soccer team, and I invite you to watch Sports Jam this coming Monday, the 26th, as we unveil our volleyball and football all-area teams as well. And, of course, coming up in March sometime, we'll have the girls hockey all-area team after this season concludes. We'll be back to drop the puck in just a moment here for the third period. It is Armstrong-Cooper trailing Maple Grove by a score of 4-1.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood, or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Maple Grove will carry a 3-goal lead into the third period here tonight as they have scored the last 4 goals of the game, all in that second period, of course. Stensley, Macklett, and then 2 from that player, Manon McMahon, for the Crimson, including a goal in the last minute. They came close to scoring in the final seconds of the period, too. The puck actually wound up in the net, but either the buzzer had sounded or they ruled that they kind of pushed the goalie, Harnett, in with the puck. And so no goal was awarded there in the final seconds. Coach Hagelin from Maple Grove did kind of allude to the fact that they knew that Harnett was going to make some stops, and she definitely, in that first period had 19 saves and saw a lot of pucks in the second. They eventually broke through and got a few, but still not an easy player to beat. I think they're waiting for the ice to set up a little bit, as there's definitely some spots with a fair amount of water, and I think the players were starting to come over and get themselves lined up for the opening face-off, but it looks like the officials have told them, let's give it just a moment for the ice to freeze up a little bit better. There's some excess water in spots around the rink, and obviously you don't want injury potential, but also you don't want really to see the puck kind of dying in a little puddle either and try to make a pass. So get things controlled that way. Couple of pretty good goalies that we've seen them make some big saves tonight, but it's going to be kind of fun all season long to see what they can do as well. Well, we heard from Coach Hagelin too that now is not the time to take the foot off the gas if you're Maple Grove. You don't celebrate yet or pat yourself on the back yet just because you've kind of burst out to this 4-1 lead. For Armstrong-Cooper, it's kind of interesting. I was thinking that they were tied after one period, but I think they really actually played a better second period than they did the first. The pace of the game was a lot higher for both teams, and that in general is going to favor Maple Grove. They got more speed, more overall skill. There's, like I said, I don't think I'm overstepping by saying that. I think that's definitely true, but to get better, Armstrong-Cooper needs to learn to play in these high tempo kind of games too, and that's what they're working on here tonight, and at times did very well. I mean, they certainly, although the one goal they did get went in off a skate, they got a couple of really good chances in that second period that, if not for Morgan being a really strong goalie, they could have put away. So they're not out of this one. It would be a long uphill climb for sure, but now Maple Grove possessing here. Penalty box is empty to begin the period. Jabbed away there from Tater and back out to center. And we've got a penalty coming up here as we will get a slashing call. So we've seen a few penalties as the game goes on here. And heading off for Maple Grove, as you get a look at there, just a little chop. Tia Rice is going to go. That comes 44 seconds into the third, so Armstrong-Cooper will go to the power play. Boy, in that second period, Deanna was commenting, and it's very true, that the teams actually almost had better chances, each of them, when they were shorthanded than when they had the power play. Picked up here by O'Brien. She'll bring it into the Crimson zone. O'Brien dropping the pass back, then they play it down deep. And it's slammed on down the rink here by the Crimson's McMahon. Haley Matson back to pick it up for Armstrong-Cooper. She's being pressured there by Stensley. Stensley and McMahon had a great penalty kill, the last penalty that the Crimson took. And the puck just stopped in front of that AC bench, now picked up by McMahon. McMahon passing it to herself. Weaving her way through the D. McMahon had it jabbed away, but killing a lot of valuable time here. McMahon will work her way back out to center. Still possessing here. And then we'll turn and dump it down the rink. Arnett back to stop it. Throwing it to the corner. Stensley over there to pressure. And then back out to center. Carried in here by Bresnahan for Armstrong-Cooper, but lost it and slammed down the rink. And Arnett stopping it there. Pass across here as it goes a little behind Kriesel. Kriesel. And then had it knocked loose by Tater. Got a nice little visit from Tater's dad, Jeff, who was a former Park Center athlete back in the day, back when I first started. And he remembered me doing the high school all-star football game back in 1988. And that when he was a part of that. So good to talk to him briefly here in intermission.
You're kind of a fixture around here, aren't you, Jay? You've been around for a while.
Well,
I'm sorry. So, you know, it's kind of fun to see all these generations of kids coming around.
Yeah, there are quite a few athletes whose parents did games that John or I called. Back across here, big slapper. Oh, and Arnett making the glove stop on Jenna Tim, who had that one targeted for just under the crossbar.
That was a heck of a shot. That was a nice save, my gosh. Well, that had net written on it. That was not going over the top. Good save. I like the way that Arnett is consistently outside of that crease. She's really cut angles out really nice, and looks like a good pace already in this period. They are coming out, both teams skating up and down real nice.
Puck popped into the Maple Grove bench, so face off just outside the blue line here. Wings push it in deep. Tim back to get it. Freed up there by O'Brien. O'Brien trying to go to the net and then pushed it wide. They tried to get it back to O'Brien behind the net, but the Crimson take it instead. Puck squirting away there a little bit from Stelgis. Now it's Larson throwing it back toward the corner. Oh, we got a penalty coming up. And looks like this will be Larson to go for a slash.
Take it on Sandro there. Wings are going to get a power play here.
So they get two early power plays in the period. Watch number 7, Larson. About to stick down a little bit on her.
Kind of lost her balance there too. She went down on her and that just added a little more force to it.
So the Wings right back on the power play. Quinn carrying it into the Crimson zone as they try and get set up on the power play here.
It'd be nice to get an element of control here too. Just kind of move it around a little bit, get some rhythm going here.
Tater had it knocked loose. Banked ahead. Here comes Stensley, shorthanded to Tater. Tater drops a pass. Oh, and a great save by Arnett. Very unselfish play and a good one, and McMahon was robbed.
Totally. You can see Arnett's taking the bandana across her face and putting it behind her net now. My gosh.
Wings trying desperately to get something going on this power play, though, as ahead it comes now to Bresnahan. Bresnahan lost it. Tater knocks it loose, and she'll lift it high in the air. Hannah Schneider and will knock it back in. Morgan will keep the puck moving here. 40 to go in the power play here for the Wings, but again, not really able to do anything with it as the Crimson shorthanded, getting some chances. Stensley, and that shot blocked by Schneider and then covered by Harnett.
The Wings aren't coming across that line as a unit. You know, there's just one or maybe two coming across, but you see a nice move here coming in. Look at the pass coming across here, and oh my gosh. Harnett anticipating and just getting across to that stick and that paddle, making a great save. But the Wings got to come in as the unit, you know, have some options to pass, and they just come in and just get picked off.
Well, and I tell you on that, you know, sometimes on a play like that, you might think, well, they overpassed. That was the move. That was the perfect play to make. It was just a better save.
Well, we were talking to Coach Hagelin, and she said this team is totally unselfish. They really set themselves up well, and that was a perfect play. That was not one pass too many. That was a perfect play. Just a great save.
Maple Grove full strength.
And that's going to be icing against the Wings. They hadn't yet cleared the center line when making that pass. And by the way, the penalty to Larson is over as well. So Crimson back to full strength here. A little under 11 minutes to go in the third period. Maple Grove leading it by a score of 4-1. And obviously there's still a lot of game. We don't know how it's going to turn out. But I would think Coach Elsa there might say that her team grew tonight based on playing this game. They've hung in there. They've at times been really back on their heels, but and they've at times relied on some spectacular saves. I'm not saying they've played like a phenomenal game, but for the level of their overall talent level compared to Maple Grove, I think they've done a pretty admirable job of hanging in.
They haven't played at this pace in the first 5 games of the season like they've played tonight, and they've showed they could play at this pace. Especially that number one line that she pointed out to us of O'Brien, Cook, and Lloyd. They really have shown that. They'll learn from this game.
Bouncing puck into the wing zone. Gathered up here now by Sachs. Her pass knocked down and out to center. Gets away from Johnson there, but Larson will come in to pick it up. Larson getting it ahead to Macklett, who has a goal tonight. In deep into the wing zone, Haley Matson back to play there. Nice breakout here, this time for Armstrong-Cooper. Bresnahan carrying it. Bresnahan shot. Oh, and a knuckle puck there. A tough one for Morgan. You could just kind of tell the way that puck was spinning that, she was kind of hoping it would come to her on the flies where she could use that glove, but it didn't quite make it there, and instead it's kind of a weird bouncer.
Scare the willies out of you as it's coming in like that. How do you get in front of it? Use the old baseball shortstop. You'll get your body in front of it. Yeah, she's been tested tonight a few times. I bet you she's appreciating this game maybe a little bit more than the Champlain Park Coon Rapids game. She's seen more shots in this game than she did in that game.
Knocked away there from Becky Getch. Now the Crimson able to get it back. Corbin carrying it up the right wing here for Maple Grove. And gets it back. Corbin tried to pass it out front, but she kind of mishit it, and that allowed Arnett a chance to pounce on it there. As calling for it was Rice. Right here, right as she comes up with it, you see Rice tap the ice, and she tried to go to her, but just didn't really get much of it.
Kind of kerfuffled off the heel of her stick there and just didn't quite get full steam on it.
And it comes right back to Harnett off the face-off. We'll get another draw here in the wing zone. 9 minutes to play here in the hockey game. 4-1. Maple Grove leading. All of the goals coming in the second period. We had a scoreless first, and so far a scoreless third. Looking for the pass out front. McMahon, the backhander goes wide. Now controlled behind the net by Herdeen. O'Brien trying to get it out of the zone. McMahon, though, strong on the stick. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe too strong on the stick. Looks like we have a slashing call coming up. And it will be against McMahon.
Well, you know, you can sit here and... Yep. Well, there's been a lot of practice for Maple Grove. Practice is one thing, game is another thing, and it changes the speed, it changes the tempo, and you got people that are battling with you. And you know, second game of the season, it's going to take some time to work these kinks out and stuff like that. And we talked about that. We were talking to Coach Agman back in the locker room, and they got a lot of things to figure out yet too. And you know, they haven't had changed some line combinations and defensive pairings yet. You know, so they got a lot of things to decide yet. Yeah, there's a lot of season left. A lot of season left.
There's a shot right on. Morgan to save the rebound. Another stop. And it's Morgan's turn to come up big. One thing I'm sure Maple Grove will be talking about is taking a few too many penalties, especially here in the third. They've taken 3 in a row. And here's Quinn getting away a good shot as she fell. And then the rebound lays loose, and it's really 2-on-0 in front, but they can't get it by Morgan. Good try to clear by Corbin, couldn't get it out.
That'd be an interesting conversation in practice tomorrow about how did you leave 2 people in front of our goalie by themselves tomorrow in the Maple Grove practice.
Bang down the rink here. Harnett has to play it away to the corner there. Estelle just was coming in hard. Armstrong-Cooper on the power play. Had a real good opportunity a moment ago, but Morgan making 2 big saves. Now O'Brien. Knocked off her stick, and O'Brien goes down hard, dumped down the rink. That's one of those where maybe if there hadn't already been a penalty against Maple Grove, that one might have been, but it will play on. O'Brien carrying it here. Tater stopping her. Then O'Brien throws it out front. It bounced off the stick of Tim and then wide. Tim able to get to it first, but it's unfortunate, hits the official. And then they jab at it, and Morgan to stop. Boy, the defenseman's worst nightmare there, other than maybe a puck ringing off your skate, is she's reversing the puck behind the net, and it goes right into the referee. This wasn't a bad pass necessarily, but it just happened to hit him. And then things got a little rough at the end there, and Tim clearing bodies out of the front of her net.
The Wings are having some issues. Once they get the puck inside the attack zone as a power play, they're not sure what to do with it. They don't know where that second pass has got to go. And they're going to have to work on that in practice. Take some actual time and really figure it out.
There's Morgan to stop. And I also think they've been a little bit, the puck carrier who brings it in has been a little hesitant. They stop and think about, okay, well, now we get set up. Meanwhile, you got somebody on you a little quicker than you realize.
Yeah, where's my passes? Do I go down low? Do I go that high? Do I go across? Where are they? And they got to get that worked out.
Shot bounces wide. And now cleared down the rink here by Maple Grove, as that'll eat up most of the remaining time on the penalty to McMahon.
Full strength.
Here's Bresnahan. Knocked away. They can't get it out, at least initially, though. Turnover here, and Kriesel trying to go to the net, but taken instead. Here comes McMahon, just out of the box. Gets it to Tater. Tater cutting to the front to McMahon, and again, it's Harnett. Tater and McMahon should have had 2 goals. Tater to McMahon twice in this third period. Harnett said no way.
I think McMahon's not going to be joining the Harnett fan club this week. That's for doggone sure. Twice she's been just ultimately robbed of goals. Perfect setup, good passes. Harnett just has been there to make the save.
Rolled along the dasher here, and it gets away. Allows a little opportunity here for the Wings, but the pass was back, and so it's offside. as O'Brien hadn't quite caught up to the play yet.
See, and this is another instance where we see Maple Grove's speed making the difference. They can't quite get it in deep enough to offset that offside pass because they're forcing the play so quickly with that speed.
Banked out to center, Stensley. Stensley going to the front, shot, and a goal by Herdeen following up. Stensley brought it to the front. It got away from her, but Herdeen was ready to pounce.
And there's the first goal of the third period.
Emily Herdeen putting it away there for the Crimson.
Scoring for Maple Grove at 11:14 of the third period. Number 11, Emily Herdeen. The assist going to number 16, Lauren Stensley.
Almost had another one.
Stensley gets the assist, and then about 10 seconds later, the Crimson
got another one.
Yeah, hit the pipe with Arnett sprawled out.
Herdeen also an accomplished lacrosse player for the Maple Grove girls lacrosse team.
Herdeen getting her second goal of the year. She had one the other night, or afternoon, I believe it was against Camplin Park. So 5-1 lead for the Crimson. Here's Corbin. Corbin shooting. A defender got a big piece of that one, and it goes over the net. Now chase to the corner, Corbin. Corbin carrying it to the middle, shooting, and Arnett to save, and then it's dumped to the corner. Wings kind of caught back, playing a lot of D right now. Tater puts it out front. Arnett stopping that one from Corbin. Boy, she has been busy tonight and has made some great saves. It isn't all that often when you say, you know, a team that gave up 5 that their goalie played great, but she did.
She has. There's no question about it. There's 5 or 6 ESPN highlights that we've recorded tonight for her. I can see why New Hampshire gave her a scholarship.
Flipped ahead, and Wings get it into the zone, but not for long. Played ahead for Tater. He goes down there. Now picked up by Quinn and kind of throws it out front, but Prizo got to it. .345 to go here in the contest. Flip to the front. Jabbed away there, and Maple Grove still working here on the forecheck. Bridget catch down there in the corner. Back down deep now, Macklett. Wings trying to get it out. They finally eventually will. They needed a change pretty bad there. And to regroup there, they had a player still caught in the zone. O'Brien now dropping it back. McMahon blocks that pass as she's falling. Then it's picked up. Penalty coming against the Wings as Macklett was going to the net and was hooked or held there. And so Maple Grove will go on a power play.
Do you think if we put McMahon in net, she'd be good at that too? Jeepers. Look at that.
Schneider right there.
Yeah, a hook.
Picking up the hook. Well, they put Schneider. I thought it might have been, in that replay, it looked like it might have been Kriesel, but either way. So Maple Grove on the power play here with under 3 minutes to go. Tater whipping it across. Now back out to McMahon. In the circle, Tater. Had it slip away a little bit, bounces it around to Herdeen. Now McMahon. Larson across to Tater. Trying to feather one out front. Oh, and Harnett making another great save, this time on Stensley's backhand attempt.
I just love the way Maple Grove's got a clue. They really know where they're moving the puck. They stay out the perimeter and they're trying to set up a back door. They go to the middle to Stensley, who's standing in front of the net when it's covered on the far side.
McMahon working to the front. Passes up a possible shot here, keeps it going. You know, for Maple Grove, they like this too. Late in the game, you know, there's not really pressure to score, but it's just a great opportunity to work on your power play. One more time here. Tater, oops, that one got a little beyond McMahon's reach, so she gathers it at center. Pass deflected, Tater coming to meet it. Tater battling through. Boy, they had Armstrong-Cooper outnumbered there, but couldn't get it clean through the neutral zone.
A little too much stick handling. Spread it out, move the puck back and forth.
Minute 38 to go in this one, and Armstrong-Cooper trailing Maple Grove 5-1. Pass drop back here to Becky Getch. Carrying it up the right side here, getting a few players who are getting their first ice time now tonight for Maple Grove. Phoebe Bachmeyer, number 20, Courtney Leising. She has the puck right here. Here we go, under a minute to play in the period. Caitlin Leising, her twin sister, up with it for Maple Grove. Penalty time is now over, by the way, to the Wings. So Schneider out of the box. And puck stayed in the zone apparently there. Is dumped behind the Wings net. Brought into the Crimson zone. Sent out front now, 25 seconds to go as it's carried back up ice. Dump back into the Maple Grove zone and thrown ahead now. Acklet dropping it for Stelgis. 10 seconds. Quinn picks it off here for AC. And they'll head back the other way. Final seconds will tick off. And that will bring this one to an end. So Maple Grove pulling away. They win it by a score of 5-1. Not too bad for early season hockey here, Dan. Pretty entertaining game.
Yeah, considering that, you know, we look at the two teams polar opposites, and I think both acquitted themselves well. I think they both got out of this game what they wanted to get out of it, and both grew a little bit. So a good game for this evening.
We'll be back to wrap up in just a moment here from the Maple Grove Community Center. Maple Grove beats Armstrong-Cooper 5-1.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
Welcome back here to Maple Grove. The Crimson winning in their second game of the season here tonight, beating a stubborn Armstrong-Cooper team by a 5-1 score. And we're joined by a couple of the older players, captains for the Crimson, starting with Manny McMahon. You got a couple goals tonight. Could have been a couple more. Their goaltender played pretty well, but overall, what was your impression of the game tonight?
You know, she played amazing. We had a lot of good chances on her, but she stopped a lot of them, and credit to her. She's an amazing goalie. Overall, I thought we played a good game. We just got to work on playing all 3 periods hard.
Guys have just had a couple of games so far. Champlain Park game was somewhat similar in that they, held you to a couple of goals, even though you kind of dominated the game. But how do you like this team so far, just to what you've seen, practices, scrimmages, and the first couple of games?
You know, we're a really hard-working team. Everyone's been doing their part on and off the ice, and it's been really fun to see us all come together this season. We just got to work on burying our chances when we get them.
Got a holiday break coming up, but then Centennial, that's about as big a rival as you have, I think, coming up Tuesday. What's that game going to be like?
You know, it's going to be a hard-fought game. It always is with Centennial. It's a section opponent. We're just going to have to come out. It'll be a great test for us, so we'll see how that goes.
Man, and thanks for joining us, and happy Thanksgiving, too.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Thank you.
All right, and also Emma Larson joining us. And what was this game like to be a part of? I mean, it was a little bit of a slow start. You dominated the first period but didn't score, but then the second kind of turned the tide on them. What did you guys do to get the momentum there?
I think we just came out with a lot of intensity in the second, which is important. I think in the first we were a little slow, but then we picked it up, and if we start playing like that every single period, I don't think we'll have any problem.
Honestly, you guys could have probably had 10 goals tonight. Their goaltender played really well. But in a way, is that a good thing for your team to realize that, it's not going to come easy? You have to work for those goals?
Yeah, for sure. I think it pushes our team to just keep crashing the net and keep trying to get goals.
Coach was telling us before the game that your team really has high goals this year, that you feel like you should be one of the better teams in the state. Talk about the potential for this year's team for the Crimson.
Yeah, we got a lot of new players that are coming up that have stepped into the older girls' roles, and they're doing amazing. I think if we just play hard and move the puck, I think we're going to be a good team.
Obviously, a lot of good opponents on your schedule, but Centennial, how special is that one to test yourselves against them next Tuesday?
Yeah, I'm excited for Centennial. They're always kind of a rival of ours, so that's going to be a big game for us.
All right, congratulations on the win, and happy Thanksgiving to you too, and enjoy the game next week too.
Thank you, you as well.
All right, Maple Grove winning it by a score of 5-1 here tonight over Armstrong-Cooper, and again the Crimson now 2-0 on the season. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's telecast. For Dan Ficken and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox, and happy Thanksgiving from all of us at CCX Media, and a reminder to join us for Turkey Trot Boys Hockey. The Maple Grove Boys will be one of the 4 teams there coming up this Saturday. That'll do it for tonight's broadcast here from Maple Grove.